Today, we're talking with Kelly Norris. He's been in the real estate industry for over 30 years, former broker and owner of a Sothebys International Realty Brokerage, and he's a luxury agent here at Real Broker. Be picking his brains about what it's like being a real estate agent here and why other brokerages may want to consider moving to Real Broker as well. Kelly, how you doing today?
Doing great, Malcolm.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
Finally got through that intro. That's like the fourth take right there. I got through it.
Yes, Sotheby's is tough to say sometimes.
Yeah. Well, do you mind telling me a little bit about how long have you been at Real Broker and what first attracted you to the company?
I joined Real Broker back in November of last year. I had sold my company in October. Actually, I think COVID changed everything. And so for a number of years during that time, I would just notice, our business was doing really well, but no one was coming into the office. Mainly COVID just said, you can't come to the office. But then after COVID, they just quit coming to the office, period. And so I started thinking, there's got to be another way than paying for all this infrastructure because people are just working from home now, and now it's like a real thing. I mean, so I started looking for an alternative, and then I stumbled upon your videos actually. And so after, and I did my due diligence, I looked at a lot of different companies and a lot of different styles of businesses and stuff, because I've been in traditional brokerages for, over 30 years. And so once I found your videos and I watched probably, I don't know, half a dozen, maybe more, it started making sense. And then I reached out to you, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that's great. Tell me a little bit about your Sothebys brokerage that you own. What did that look like? How long were you a broker there for? What are some of the numbers?
So I was a broker of another Sothebys office in California for 10 or 12 years. And it was owned by another company, or another person. Actually, he was the broker owner and I was the broker manager.
Mm-hmm.
And then I built that company up from 22 agents to over 75 agents during that period. And then he coincidentally took that and sold his company to another company, a larger company out of the Bay Area. And then an opportunity came where I was able to buy into another office in California, and I did that for 3 years. And then, and as a matter of fact, we closed on that company about 2 weeks before COVID broke out.
Oh,
so yeah. So that was a very stressful time, as everybody knows. But I mean, I thought, oh my gosh, I just signed on to a deal, and all of a sudden now no one can come to the office. No one's going to buy homes. And the good news is I couldn't have been more wrong. I mean, the business was, we went crazy, and I grew that company from, it was a small boutique office of 8 agents, and I grew that to over 50 in a couple of years, actually less than 2 years. And then, everything started, in my mind started thinking, there's got to be a different way than having to pay for all this stuff like we've already covered. And which is honestly, I think a lot of independent brokers out there need to consider all these things when they're looking at, all the expenses that they have to go and pay, because if they can look at Real, it solves a lot of problems. It certainly does.
Yeah, this is actually a big trend that we're seeing at Real, where independent brokers are joining Real. And it's kind of like a brokerage as a service in a way, and essentially turning their brokerage into a team at Real, but still keeping their branding and their structure and everything. What would you say are some of the advantages of an independent broker joining Real and kind of tapping into our resources?
Honestly, once I was I affiliated with Real, I started really figuring out all the things that could be applied to a brokerage. The biggest thing is all of the technology that's available to a brokerage is all in one place. I mean, it's astounding to me. I couldn't believe it when I started looking into the technology at Real, because literally before, everything was all segmented all over the place. I mean, it was like, if you wanted to write a contract, you had to do this. If you had to get signatures, you had to do that. If you wanted to find out what your GCI is for the year, you had to go to another place. And then you had to, it was just all, fragmented everywhere. Well, from a brokerage standpoint, even small brokerage, even a large brokerage, everything's in one place. And so it literally streamlines the process of running a brokerage. So you don't have to spend all this money for all these bolt-ons that you need to function. Yeah. And honestly, it's going to save brokerages money, which at the end of the day is essential to the survival of these companies. And but that's the biggest thing I see, is that it takes out the fragmentation and just puts everything in one place. And that's completely customizable too. So if for instance, if there's split differences inside the team or the brokerage, that can all be done, and it all can be put into the system and customized. So it's not just a one size fits all type of thing. It's definitely customizable. I felt that was amazing once I got into the system.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you mentioned the technology, and that's definitely one of the biggest advantages I think everybody experiences here at Real. And it's kind of the agent facing technology, but also a lot of the technology on the back end that we never really see, but we benefit from just with all the data that we're given. What are your thoughts on Real Brokers technology? And do you have a favorite piece of tech here?
Honestly, the technology is amazing. I mean, literally, I can pick up my phone and I can get to anything in like seconds that I can, that I need to look at. I mean, it's literally on my phone, and it's on that Rezen app. And so you literally log into there and you're good to go. As far as the best part of the technology is concerned, honestly, I think the best part of all of it is that it's also accessible to us, and we don't have to go looking for anything. They've spent an enormous amount of time and money and effort making it easy for us. And so I think the best part of the technology is that part that they literally make it so easy on the agents. So but all of it I like. I mean, it's hard to really segment them out. I think that it's super important to everybody out there listening to this, is that it's so easy to find what you're looking for, and you've got to admit, and you know them better than I, they've spent a lot of time making sure that it's easy for us to get to what we need to get to.
Yeah. So they bought a technology company in 2021, and the CEO of that company, Pritesh Damani, he came over as our chief technology officer, and he's the one that's designed all of our technology. And I had an interview with him maybe a year ago, and he said in there that his goal is to make the technology so intuitive to use that you don't need a tutorial on how to use it. If they need to create a tutorial on how to use it, they did something wrong. It should be so intuitive, just like Gmail. You open up Gmail, you know exactly how to send an email, how it works. And that's kind of his design philosophy around the tech.
Oh, and it totally makes sense. And honestly, I think that part of the technology, their idea behind making things so accessible is a technology in itself.
Yeah.
And I think that right there is the key, is that they're making everything so accessible to us. And because, what we do for a living is stressful. Most of what we have to do is market ourselves and make sure that we're, trying to get the next deal and sell real estate. The last thing we need to do is get all tripped up because we don't know where anything is.
Yeah.
And so this takes that away.
Yeah, absolutely. And for independent brokerages, part of their responsibility is also to train their agents. And I feel like that's got to be a big, focus of their time, is just training agents. What is your thoughts about training that we have here at Real Broker, and how can that benefit an indie brokerage that joins?
Honestly, I was blown away by the training that's available to us under the Real Academy. It's I forget the count now. I think there's like over 700 videos now that are available, and 200 plus classes, and there's masterminds. There's I don't remember how many. I think there's 30 or more live trainings every month.
Every week.
So yeah, yeah, every week. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, so that part of it is just amazing to me. I remember, when I had my brokerage, and even before I had my own, I managed another one. It was super hard to get people in. We would have 60 or 70 agents, and if we could get maybe 10 people to show up for training once a week, then we were lucky. Well, this is different. I mean, you literally, it's all there, and then you can log in anytime. And if you miss it, you can just watch it back when it's been recorded. So from that standpoint, I think the training at Real is probably better than I've ever seen, honestly, from any brokerages I've been involved with. And I'm just scratching the surface. I mean, there's so much there. It'd take a lifetime to get through all of it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think like one of the factors that makes our training so great is that we are all owners in this company. We have stock in this company, a rev share. We want to see this company do well. And like I provide a lot of training in the Real Academy for no other reason that I want to see this company grow because I'm an owner in it. And you don't really find that at many other companies out there.
No, and there's things that you need to know. And if a new person it comes into Real and they affiliate with Real and they want to know about some of the inner workings about not just how to grow your business or do anything. You even do a training on YouTube, creating a YouTube channel on the Real Academy. So you can find anything you need and more. I mean, you literally can, and it's in one place. Again, it's on your phone, or you can bring it up on your computer. And if you want to learn a particular thing, you just search for it. Comes right up, and then you can like dial it in. So it's really, really, really awesome.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the training here as well. Now, culture and community is something that's really important to a lot of agents. It's really important to me. It's really important to our leadership here. What are your thoughts or your review of the culture and community that we have here at Real Broker?
Actually, that's one of the best things I like about Real is that it's a very collaborative environment, and I think that's the most important and impressive thing about the whole community. Because when I first decided to make this leap into cloud, a cloud brokerage, that was one of the things I was worried about. Is that what's the culture going to look like? Because everybody's all over the place, and I couldn't have been more, I was worried for nothing, because I mean, there's so much. As a matter of fact, I feel like, and I think you and I have had this conversation on multiple occasions, is that I actually feel closer to the agents inside this brokerage than I did even the ones that I had before on a brick and mortar business.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because you have people showing up from all over the United States and Canada. And one thing I really, really like about the culture is that if you have a problem or a question, you throw it out there on either a referral network, or find somebody and you can find somebody literally in minutes, and then they get back to you, and they're more than willing to just fall all over themselves to help you. I mean, it's astounding to me. I just, the culture is really important to any business, and this particular company has got it really dialed in. And I love the whole workplace, where you can like log into Workplace and find people and just have conversations with them. And then if you need to talk to them on the phone, you can pick up the phone, you can text them, you can email them. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like you and I talk probably weekly, and you're in California, I'm in Maryland. Yeah, here we are collaborating and masterminding. And that's just the power of technology right there. And like, yeah, I do have a stronger connection to the community here than I ever did at my brick and mortar office.
Yeah, and it's, and on that thing, I mean, that's one of the things that I decided to join the company, because, before, I was, I've been recruiting people and agents for years and years and years, but everything's so localized. Now I talk to people from all over the country and Canada on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I mean, that part of it, so it's just opened up the world to me. And so I really, really like that part a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kelly, if any independent brokerages out there, former brokers, want to reach out to you and kind of pick your brain about joining Real Broker, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can find me on my YouTube channel Real broker Kelly Norris, or just go to my website, kellynorris.com.
Okay, great. And just FYI, Kelly is in my downline as well. So if you did join, feel free to put him down as your sponsor. You get both of us as your upline and as a resource for you in the company. Kelly, thank you so much for your time today. It was a great conversation.
Great. Thanks.